1, Everton 0. Spurs are safe. Tottenham are a Premier League side next season. First up, we're going to go to Anthony and Kinski. 7 from us, 8 from you, 8.3 from you guys out there. I mean, I thought it was a fairly quiet day for Kinski, to be honest. I think everything he did great. The save at the end, I thought was a fantastic save. The crosses that you mentioned were great. Yeah, I just thought it was a fairly quiet day.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he made that save right at the end, which again, as I say, it was a good save on when you look at it like for the cameras, but actually I think he made it a bit more difficult than it needed to be with some pretty poor positioning. So I think he might have got away with it, but he did make the save, and that was all important. He kept the clean sheet, second clean sheet since he's come in, and he's just been such a safer pair of hands, hasn't he, than Vicario, and that's been a crucial thing.
Yeah. Next up is Pedro Porro. 9s all round for Pedro. You guys giving him a 7.9. This guy, since De Zerbi has come in, there's just been a different attitude, different application about him. He's just been a warrior. You could just see he's gone to war in every single game under De Zerbi. And this one, from his defensive display, you know, winning those duels, always contesting for those duels as well, just running at 1,000,000 miles an hour, just making sure that no Everton player is going to get a cross in or breach the goal or anything like that. This guy has just been fantastic, and yesterday was more kind of evidence of it.
Yeah, and I don't think he's one player you can ever accuse of not caring. You know, he's always worn his heart on his sleeve, and that's one thing I think Frank as well, when it came to Pedro Porro, he used him so badly, I think, all the time. He would have him just basically getting the ball and just spamming it down the line constantly. That was basically his role. And I think De Zerbi's used him a much smarter way, way more suited to his strengths. I think he's been brilliant by and large over these last 7 games, and just reminds us what a good player he is, because even people starting to give up hope on him, saying, oh, he's done, we need to sell him, not good. But this guy is class, and we need to remember that.
Yeah, and you know, under Thomas Frank, the build-up was non-existent, and to have non-existent build-up with a player like Pedro Porro in your team is just like crazy talk. And obviously, he's been much more central to the build-up since De Zerbi's come in. Next up is Kevin Danso. Sim gives him an 8. I gave him a 9. 7.7 from you guys. I thought he was a beast, man, particularly in those last 20 minutes. Nothing was getting past him. Aerial ability for days. I just thought this guy was a cut up. I think this was a cut above all his other performances under De Zerbi so far. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah, I think, no really sloppy mistakes, and I think some games he's not been as good on the ball, but I think, to be fair, Everton really didn't pressure him too much. I thought he dealt with Barry pretty simply. Barry really struggled to do anything up against him. Headed everything away. Was a really solid as a rock at the back, I felt.
Yeah. And next up is Mickey van der Ven. I gave him a 9, you gave him an 8. 8.1 from you guys. Again, like, he is another one that has just come on leaps and bounds under Roberto De Zerbi, where he looked all lost, not a care in the world, and now he's wearing that armband, that captain's armband, with pride. He's playing for the badge. He's playing for the manager. He's playing for the fans. The passion he showed at the end of the game, the passion he was throwing throughout the game. His defensive play was absolutely spot on, and I thought he was just winning everything in the air as well, which, you know, that's one kind of small criticism sometimes I have about Van der Ven, that he's not as good as in the air as maybe he should be for a guy of his size. But yesterday, I thought he was just gobbling everything up, and you could just see how much this guy wanted it yesterday. Fantastic.
And he gave away a foul for nearly getting his leg broken, which I thought was ridiculous. He somehow nearly gets his leg broken, and they've given him, they say he made the foul. I thought that was a joke. But yeah, Van der Ven was imperious pretty much throughout the whole game. Really, really solid. And they struggled to get anything past him. And he also cleared one off the line, didn't he?
Yeah,
at the end.
Absolutely. Destiny Doggy, 7s all round from us, 7.1 from you guys, so very much aligned on Destiny Doggy. I thought it was a much better display than what we've seen in recent weeks. I felt in recent weeks he's been a bit weak, but in this game he wasn't weak at all. He was very strong on that left-hand side, locked it down. I don't think he impacted too much going forward, but his defensive display was faultless, really.
Yeah, because then they moved Ndai over to that side, and I thought he wasn't getting any spare change out of Destiny Doggy throughout the opening exchanges. There was at one moment where he kind of cut inside and looked a bit threatening, and Ndai had a weak shot, which Doggy failed to track. But that was the only time we moved inside in the whole game. I think by and large, the doggy had it on lock. Didn't really do much going forward, but didn't need to really.
Next up is Rodrigo Bentancur, 7s all round from us, 7.5 from you guys. Yeah, I mean, he's been brilliant since he's come in. I felt like he just gives that kind of calm composure in the middle of the park that I think we've just been lacking so much since before he was injured. And this game was no different. You know, he brings that calm and composure, but he's also got that grit and bite in the challenge as well. So, yeah, really good display from Rodrigo.
Yeah, fair play to him. Another solid display.
So consistent, isn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't had a bad game really since De Zerbi's come in. He hasn't really been off it in any game. He's maybe had better games than this one, but he's been consistently at a certain level, and he hasn't really fallen below a floor which maybe he was beforehand. And another silky display, I felt, and I thought they really struggled to kind of dominate in that middle physically.
João Palhinha, I gave him a 9, you gave him an 8. They've given him an 8.9. Monstrous display from João Palhinha. He covered so much ground. He didn't give an Everton midfielder a second to breathe. Not 1 second to breathe. I think he was attributed with the most defensive contributions on the park, and he gets the goal as well. I mean, he did everything yesterday. What a fantastic display it was. And after a disappointing display against Chelsea, we're even questioning even him starting in this game. But you can't question it because he's been so vital for us this season. The goal against Wolves, the goal yesterday, big part of why we have stayed up this season. I think he contested 13 duels and won 10 of them. That is just monster.
Yeah, it was a very Roy of the Rovers kind of performance from João Palhinha, and it's one of those. It's these kind of games that sometimes you need a João Palhinha in these kind of games when it's a very nervy game, and you just need someone who's always going to put that grit in no matter what. And I thought he did that exceptionally well. Got the goal as well. Nearly got one before that with a poor effort at the back post. But I thought he gave Ghana and Irogbuna, he gave them the runaround. I think they just couldn't get any time or space because he was always there snapping at their heels every single time. There was one moment that did frustrate me where he breaks on an attack. I think it was like a 5-on-4 in our favour, and he just didn't release the ball, and he ended up shooting from 30 yards instead of creating opportunity. And that's kind of the drawbacks you get with Palhinha. But the other stuff in these kind of games is invaluable.
Next up is Jed Spence. I gave him a 6. You gave him a 7. 7.3 from you guys. Yeah, look, I thought he was a handful, but I just felt like the quality was a bit lacking from him. He had that one shot, didn't he?
Which Pickford spilled.
Yeah, that one where Pickford spilled. And yeah, I thought he was a big reason why Everton weren't able to just burst down that side. But so defensively, he defended well from the front, which we were saying in the predicted lineup. But when you're talking about on the right wing and to provide an actual threat, I don't think he provided too much of a threat.
Look, he's not a winger. He's not a position he's going to be playing too much in his career. I think he came in, did a job. I think he did the job well in terms of what he was probably asked to do. Protect Porro a bit more and just be an outlet and also press a bit better than Moani. And also keep the ball. He actually kept the ball a lot better than Moani does. So I think from that point of view, I was pretty content with him. I know this ain't going to be his position, so I'm not really judging him on like being a winger. I'm judging him on probably doing the job that he was asked to do, and I think he did it pretty well. So, gave him a 7.
Next up is Conor Gallagher. I've given him a 6. You've given him a 7. 7.2. Sorry, from you guys. Look, I think Conor Gallagher again is another one that's just his mentality is completely flipped since De Zerbi's come in. Off the ball, I thought he was absolutely brilliant, running at 1,000,000 miles an hour everywhere. He was literally everywhere. And I thought he was carrying the ball a little bit better in this game as well. But again, not too much of a goal threat, but I thought everything else was pretty good.
Yeah, no, not too many complaints. I think, again, his better work probably went off the ball than on the ball. There was a few moments, I think, in the early exchange of the game where he did look threatening, had an effort or hit the side netting, and he was looking like maybe he could create something. Never really happened, but I thought he just put in a tireless display yet again.
Next up is Matisse Tell. I gave him a 6, you gave him a 7. 6.9 from you guys. Obviously, we scored from his corner. Not the first time that we've scored an important goal from one of his corners as well, as the Europa League run showed last season. I thought in the first 20 minutes of the game, he was a threat down that left-hand side and forced a few fouls and was getting in some dangerous positions. But yeah, I think he did flatter to deceive for the majority of it, and I would like to see him being a bit more of a threat.
Yeah, I thought Tell was having a really good game in the first half. I thought his set pieces, as you say, were really threatening, and we should have scored from maybe more than one of them in the first half. So I think he was doing his job really well there. There was a moment as well. I think Porro floats the ball over to him on the edge of the area. He takes one touch, and I thought it was a very, very similar strike to the Leeds one. But on this occasion, I think it was Tarkowski just gets his head on it. And I think if you watch the replay, it was definitely heading into the corner. So very close with that one. Good defending by Everton. I thought Judge O'Brien, definitely that first half, was really struggling against him. He was getting turned left and right, got him booked, and nearly got him sent off as well with the second challenge. And O'Brien probably calmed down a bit after that moment. But yeah, second half he definitely seemed to turn out the game, and that's probably why he was taken off instead of Spence to play on the wing, because he just wasn't really providing the same energy in that second half. So good first half, not as good second half.
Richarlison, I gave him a 5, you gave him a 7, 6.1 from you guys. Again, it's just a bit similar to what we've seen in recent weeks from Richarlison, where he battles, he hassles, he harries, he wins the aerial duels, decent hold-up play, but in terms of an attacking threat, it's near non-existent, to be honest.
Yeah, well, I thought his hold-up play was a lot better in this one than it has been in recent weeks. I thought it was actually combining with players and sustaining attacks rather than it just being like a black hole, like it sometimes is with Richarlison, and the possession just disappears. So that was good. I thought, obviously, we know off the ball, brilliant stuff from him. His haranguing and harassing was great. Don't remember too many things he did. Here's one moment he probably feel like he could have done better when Dancer, I think, has a header, falls right to him in the 6-yard box, and I think it takes him by surprise. His touch is off, and we didn't get the goal in that moment. But yeah, I think he ran himself to the ground for an hour. So fair play.
Radu Dragusin, 6 all round, 5.5 from you. I mean, he came on late to provide an extra. He came on for a doggy, didn't he? I don't really remember much. Dragusin did.
The only thing I remember from him was he did a really poor clearance, which nearly put us in trouble late in the game, which it fell straight to, I think, George at the edge of the box. And I think he ended up crossing it, and Everton nearly got a goal from it. But other than that, I think he only had a few minutes and came to shore things up, didn't he?
There's not much to say about any of these subs, to be honest, but James Maddison, 6 all round. Good to see him back on the pitch once again. 6.7 from you guys.
Yeah, still clearly not as sharp as he.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I don't think he had as much of an impact in this game as he had maybe in the last game against Leeds.
Yeah, I think in the way the game was going, I actually didn't think it called for a Maddison, because we were just defending. And
I thought we should have brought in Solanke.
We needed like duel winners, and we needed players who were going to be physically strong, and Maddison was a bit off the pace. He wasn't getting near to his man enough, and not necessarily his fault. But the games against Leeds and Chelsea, obviously, we needed a goal, and that's where you need a Maddison. We would kind of in those moments camped a bit in the opposition half, and that's where he definitely made more of a difference. But in this game, we were camped in our own half. I think it was probably the wrong decision. But again, it did give everyone a lift. So,
massively, yeah.
So from that point of view, maybe it was right.
And I think it was at a time where a bit of nerves started to creep in as well. The stadium went a bit quiet. And as soon as Maddison came on, it did give everyone a lift, 100%. Archie Gray, 6 all round, 6.1 from you guys. Again, I don't really remember much that Archie did.
I don't know if he touched the ball.
Yeah.
Did he touch the ball?
It's 5 touches.
5 touches.
So, yeah, not much
nice
to say.
To see him, at least. Haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, it's true. Pat Mate Sarr, 6 all round, 6.1 from you guys. The only thing I remember from Sarr is when Kinski made that save, I think it's Porro had Tyreek George, and Sarr just goes belting out. I don't know, what's he doing? He's
doubling up on George, so one of them goes down the line and one of them cuts inside. And for some reason, they both went down the line, and George had all that space to cut inside. But that is Sarr's job. Shahzad just stood his ground, and when George cuts inside, bam, he's there to make the tackle. But he just completely went walkabouts. Also, he dived for the penalty.
Was it a really bad dive?
Horrific. Nowhere near. I think when I first saw it, I was like, oh, it's a penalty. We're going to get one. Surely first one season. Referee blows his whistle, and then I was like, oh no. And you saw the replay. I do remember there was one. When Didier Zakora made this mad dive. I remember it was against like Portsmouth years ago. Like very similar to that.
I vaguely remember.
Yeah, that was just like nowhere near the ball, and there was such a clear dive. And you know what? He was in such a good position; he could have scored. So why is he going over and diving?
He did so great to get into that position, didn't he?
Yeah, he was like took on two men, drove into the box, like go on, Pape, and then he dives. It's like, why did you do that? So it wasn't a great cameo. He also spent a bit of time on the ground, didn't he? Injured, so it wasn't the best cameo.
And Kolo Muani, probably his last few moments in a Spurs shirt, came on, 6s all round. You guys giving him a 4.3. I mean, he came on and had a shot straight away, didn't he, from distance?
Yeah, from like 30 yards.
But apart from that, I don't think he had too much of an impact.
A couple of nice touches, but by and large, there was one moment where he like gets the ball and does a weird flick, and it's like, we're defending a goal here. Like, can you not do that right now?
Yeah, that's it. That is it from the player rating. De Zerbi, I'm going to give De Zerbi a big fat 10 just for keeping us up.
Yeah, I think fully deserved. I actually think he managed the game pretty well anyway. I think when we needed to attack, we attacked and we got the goal. When we needed to defend, we defended pretty well. I mean, by and large, what we're talking about is their best chance was a shot from the edge of the area, which Kimpy had to save. That's really all they had. A couple of headers here and there. But other than that, we defended brilliantly, I thought, by and large. And I thought we kept the ball well when we need to. I thought that first half, some of our attacking play, yet again, some brilliant football. I think the way he's got us set up is so much better than before. So, yeah, De Zerbi deserves so much credit.
Yeah, can't sing his praises enough. So that is our player ratings. Let us know in the comment section below. Do you agree, disagree? Put your ratings in the comment section below.